What's up, guys? So you're probably wondering, when will Phase 2 TBC start and what can we expect? Well, Season 1, or the Arena Season 1, started on January 30th, 2007 and ended June 19th. That makes the original Season 1 Arena season exactly 20 weeks. If we compare then, that TBC Classic Season 1 started on June 15th, exactly 2 weeks after release as promised by Blizzard, we can deduct that Phase 2, which introduces the second Arena season, may begin on Tuesday, November 2nd. Now, this is quite a long time, and I hope that it is released before then. 5 months of only Karazhan, Gruul's Lair, and Magtheridon's Lair, as well as being Blizzard's guinea pig while they try and fix Battlegrounds, sounds about as appealing as accepting pudding from Alex Afrasiabi. Speaking of not accepting no for an answer, who remembers Vanilla Phase 2? Now, Phase 1, which included Onyxia and Molten Core, was released on August 26th, 2019. Then, on November 12th, we saw Phase 2 released, which added the Honor System and World Bosses, #NeverForget. This was 78 days of Phase 1, a little over 2.5 months. If we look 2.5 months after TBC Classic release, we arrive at Wednesday, August 18th. But Blizzard usually releases patches on Tuesdays, so we can predict possibly that Phase 2 could begin on Tuesday, August 17th. This is a date that hopefully would bring back the more than 30% of WoW subscribers who have already quit for other games. Even still, we usually see an announcement a few weeks before the next phase goes through PTR, before it eventually goes live, so we're looking at a minimum of a couple weeks to a couple months, even if we saw an announcement soon, depending on the delay from announcement to PTR. Fingers crossed for August 18th, but at latest we can expect it by November 2nd, if you ask me. Next, let's discuss what is being released in Phase 2. Well, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. Serpent Shrine Cavern and Tempest Keep. We know this for sure. These are 2 new 25-man raids, which will include all the new shiny Tier 5 gear pieces with the glove, legs, and helm dropping from Serpent Shrine Cavern, and the shoulder and chest dropping from Tempest Keep. Also, with these 2 raids being released, we will see new gear become available outside of the tier sets. Lots of craftable items such as the Belt of Blasting, Belt of the Guardian, Boots of the Protector, Hurricane Boots, Red Havoc Boots, and the Monsoon Belt. Also, we can assume the third and final stage of weapons and armor will be craftable because Nether Vortices, or Nether Vortexes, drop in Serpent Shrine Cavern and Tempest Keep. Items such as Blood Moon, we have Storm Herald, aka Stun Herald, we have Lionheart Executioner, Wicked Edge of the Plains, Dragon Strike, Blaze Fury, Bulwark of the Ancient Kings, and Embrace of the Twisting Nether. As a reminder, Nether Vortex is a bind-on pickup item, so it cannot be sold, but eventually it will be BOE and also purchasable for Badges of Justice. But no idea when that will be the case. Probably, actually definitely not in Phase 2, but who knows. Also, we can speculate that Fisherman's Feast will be available in Phase 2 because it is not currently in Phase 1, and I don't even know why Blizzard chose to not include it in Phase 1. But then again, this isn't the first time Blizzard's actions have left us questioning. Now, one of the things that people are most curious about is when are we going to get the Epic goggles introduced? Now, there are 11 Epic goggle sets, things that range from the Deathblow X11 goggles, the Tankatronic goggles, the Sure Strike goggles, and the Furious Gizmatic goggles, to name a few. People have been wondering, when is this going to be added into TBC? Well, believe it or not, these were added in patch 2.1.0, which is actually the Black Temple patch that we've been actually talking about throughout the majority of this video. So, fingers crossed, we may actually see these epic goggles introduced in Phase 2. Now, this is definitely a guess because, as we all know, this is the Black Temple guess, and of course, perhaps, this was equivalent to the itemization that, Black Temple was releasing, which was Tier 6, so, could be a stretch. It might not actually happen. If you were to go to wowhead.com and look at, for example, the Deathblow X11 goggles, we do see that it is labeled Phase 5, which is correct. Black Temple is Phase 5, and so, if this is true that they're coming out in Phase 5, itemization might be different than other content release. I'm not exactly sure, but fingers crossed, I think it is a possibility that we could see the 11 Epic goggles released within Phase 2, but if not, we might have to wait until Phase 5 to see these incredible goggles become released. Also, in Phase 2, we will see Shattrath flasks. Players can obtain Mark of the Illidari that can be exchanged for flasks, which are identical to the TBC Alchemy flasks in Shattrath City by speaking to Haldor the Compulsive if you are Aldor, or Arcanist Zorith, if you are Scryer. These marks can drop from mobs in Serpent Shrine Cavern, the Eye, the Battle for Mount Hyjal, Black Temple, and Sunwell Plateau. Keep in mind that these flasks are only active in the raids that Mark of the Illidari can drop from, and as such cannot be used in Karazhan, Gruul's Lair, Magtheridon's Lair, or Zul Aman. These are basically the exact same flasks, like I said. They'll be called things like Shattrath Flask of Fortification, Shattrath Flask of Pure Death, and so on. Now, everything we've talked about up to this point, we can be fairly confident about being released in Phase 2. But because the first major content patch of original 2007 Burning Crusade was Black Temple, it leaves a lot of room for guessing. Originally, all raids besides Black Temple and Sunwell Plateau were in the game. So when it comes to phases adding Serpent Shrine Cavern and Tempest Keep, there are no patch notes that go along, so to speak, with these raids being released because they were already in the game. So the only thing we can do here is make educated guesses. Since Black Temple was the first major patch, perhaps we will see some of those things added into the game in Phase 2, minus Black Temple itself. Things such as Druid Epic Flight Form and the accompanying quest chain. Anzu, who also drops the Ravenlord mount, would also be added into the game then. There's also the Skedis daily quests from the Shatari Skyguard, which is a series of daily quests only accessible from a flying mount that ultimately allow you to gain reputation and purchase the exclusive, the incredible Nether Ray Epic Flying Mount. There is also something very interesting sold by the Shatari Skyguard, and that is a non-engineering exclusive cloak that can give you slow fall, as well as some other pretty cool goodies. In addition to the Skedis daily quest, there's also the Netherwing faction and accompanying daily quests that you can farm reputation for that leads to the incredible, amazing, probably iconic Nether Drake mount becoming accessible. Those pre-quests are actually already available in Phase 1 in Shadowmoon Valley if you are interested in getting a head start on those. Then there's also the Ogre-La faction. Tons of new daily quests on top of a flying mount only accessible plateau in the west portion of Blade's Edge Mountains, which also offers a lot of fun rewards based off of Pexis crystals and so much more. And the patch also did add the Ruins of Lordaeron Arena, which if you've arenaed at all in TBC Classic yet, you already know it is in the game. A sign, of course, that we may see certain parts of patches added at different phases, so it's really anybody's guess what phase will bring what. With that, guys, that is all I have for today's video. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a like. If you want more World of Warcraft content, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Toyhouze, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.